Good day, everyone. Welcome to Trinity Music Academy and Allied Services Limited, Nigeria, where we sell musical instruments, we repair musical instruments, and we train people how to play musical instruments. This keyboard was brought to us by a technician for repair. The model of the keyboard is Yamaha PSR S900. The fault with the keyboard was not coming up at all, so the keyboard was totally dead when he brought it. So when he checked the power panel, he discovered that a particular component or some components here, they have already burnt. So he told us that he want to get another power panel, but we advise him to bring the complete keyboard so we can diagnose to know if the issue is on the power panel or on the main board, or sometimes from both. Because if keyboard doesn't come up, there are so many parts or so many components that can be responsible for it. The first one is the switch button. So when you check that the switch button is working perfectly, the second one is this adapter socket, this particular port. So there may be an open circuit there. So if that one is okay, there's a particular fuse that is here. So you have to check that one too before you now begin to check other things. So but for this one now, the issue was actually not on the power panel for the keyboard not to come up, but this burnt area and some other parts has been affected. The sound has been affected by this particular component and some other parts on the main board as well. So if you have this kind of issue after you have checked the switch that is okay, so you have checked this adapter socket is okay, you have checked this switch that is okay, these two diodes are working, this capacitor is working, then the next one is this particular component. It is called the DC to DC converter. So it is the one that will convert the 16 volts coming from this adapter socket. It will convert it to 5 volts and 3.3 volts at the same time. So it is these two voltages that will come to the main board, the digital motherboard. So if 5 volt and 3.3 volt was not supplied, then you have to deal with the power. But as long as these two voltages have been supplied from the power panel, the next thing is to check the main board. So for this one, the two voltages came out, so we don't have anything to do with power panel on this particular component. And other components there, they are just like operational amplifier. So like we said earlier, operational amplifier is where they are being attached to will determine the work they will do. Like this ones now, they are equalizers, these three, so they are working as equalizer. So this one is an OP amp for sound, this one is for the phono, this one is for the left and right output and all those ones. This one is for the microphone to do the microphone. This one is for the auxiliary input in case you want to plug data and some other things. So those are the components on the power panel, and those are the functions of all the components on the power panel. So we now diagnosed the digital motherboard. We discovered that some components have actually spoiled on the digital motherboard, and what caused this was that the owner of the keyboard bought an adapter that is not regulated. So sometimes it will bring out 24 voltage, sometimes it's going to dispense like 20 voltage, sometimes it dispense like 18 voltage. So that was what actually affected the motherboard. So that excess voltage affected this one, but I don't know how the excess voltage actually got into the main board, which actually affected the main board. So we discovered some SDRAM there were 40, we have already replaced them, but this particular one too, so was 40, and this flash ROM. So we replaced this flash ROM, we replaced this SDRAM, then we replaced like two other components under the main board before we actually coupled it, and that was the issue with it. So if you have this kind of fault, don't conclude that you just want to buy the power panel. Let's assume that this person has bought the power panel. You still have to bring the keyboard back here, because the keyboard will still not come up, since the major issue with the keyboard is the main board. So when you have issue, don't conclude I want to buy board, I want to buy power panel, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. Take it to professional technician that can diagnose. Those are the people that can tell you that, oh, the fault is from here, the fault is from here, the fault is from here, and you may not even need to buy anything just to repair. Like this particular one now, you have completely repaired the keyboard. So we will copy it now and we play it. So we have connected it to the digital and with our adapter. So the screen was not working at all, and the owner is not interested in fixing the screen because the screen is very expensive. So he said he can still manage and use it like that. So we want to switch it on now. So the keyboard is already switched on, it's loading, but the screen is not working. So as you can see, it has completed booting. So things on the keyboard has been fixed. The keyboard is working now. So that issue that got burnt, we have actually replaced the component and everything is working now. The phono sound is coming out from the phono. Sound is coming out for the two left and right output. The auxiliary inputs, they are also working. So the pedal is working and every other thing on the keyboard is working. So whenever you have issue with your keyboard, just feel free to contact us. You can